Okay, good morning, everyone. This is the February meeting of the Binghamton Traffic Board, which we'll call to order. It's February 9th, 2023. The first item of business is approval of the minutes from the October 13th, 2022 meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We don't have anyone here today to address the board, so we can move into the traffic board determination portion of the meeting. The first item on the agenda is 41 Leroy Street, review results of the new traffic device updates from the August meeting. So this is a review of some of the changes that we put into place the summer of last year. Sergeant Music, if you want to just give us the update on those changes.
So what we did, we updated new signage, new stop signs, reflective tape on the stop signs. We installed the new pre-warning signs for stop signs. Some field of view was addressed by extending one of the parking to curb on Leroy Street. It was extended from 30 feet to 50 feet. And yesterday I pulled up the reports. There was no new accidents or calls for service there since November 1st till yesterday. So it seemed to be working so far, the update.
Okay, so no actions required at this time. Did we have any discussion or comments from board members on the? I think what we had talked about is maybe putting it on the agenda in another 3 months to review again, 3 months or
6 months.
okay. Okay, so we'll make a note to put it on. Let's do 3, just since it's still relatively new,
Okay.
and then we can review the accident reports and incident reports if there's anything at that time. The next item on the agenda is Oak Street. This was a review requested by Kevin Richmond, who's the principal of Binghamton High School. If I recall correctly, traffic was out there in the fall, taking a look at some of the issues that they're having with pedestrians at school dismissal.
Yes. Yesterday, yesterday, day before yesterday, Cindy and I, we went out there again to see what we can do. And we think this should be sufficient for right now. Updating all the signage, installing 4 extra signs, high visibility signs, and 2 signs that are already there are not sufficient. They're not high visibility, and the placement of them is not as great as we would like to be. So I have the order for a sign shop to install the new signs, and we'll probably do another review of that. We also look at the possibility of installing one of the crosswalks there with the flashing lights or something. The only one viable place would be taking away parking spots if we go that route.
Are the signs we're installing, are they replacing signs currently there, or?
The 2 signs that are currently there will be replaced with the high visibility ones, and there's 4 more signs, high visibility signs. So altogether it should be like 6 signs.
Do we have any discussion or questions or comment from the board on that? Okay. I'm not sure, since we're just adding additional signage, if it requires traffic board approval, but what we can do for that portion of it is I'd look for a motion to add the additional signage as outlined by the traffic division. And then for the crosswalk section of this, I think I'd like us to meet with the principal and school administration there and have a conversation about other possible next steps. So is there a motion to update the signage as the traffic division outlined? Motion from Ron. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, that passes.
Megan, one more thing with that. When Jasmine and I were out there, we noticed that there's no school zone on Main Street. And maybe we should look at, see if we think there should be one there.
Okay,
I don't know, we could, if anybody's interested, we could look at that for the next meeting in March, but seemingly there should be a school zone on Main Street also,
okay.
right in front of the school. No. I'm surprised. Yeah, it did seem weird because we were out there looking at signage and they're,
Okay, that would be great to look at and we can talk about it at the March meeting. Tito, if you wouldn't mind just keeping that on the, keeping this one on the agenda for March, we can revisit then. Thanks, Cindy. Okay, next item on the agenda is Vessel Ave in Brookfield. This was a review requested by Councilman Burns of the blinking traffic light from I'm sorry, a review of the traffic light there. I believe the request was to consider changing it to blinking from 9 to 7. Sergeant Musick, do you want to just give us the traffic division's opinion on this?
Our recommendation was to leave it as it is, but there is a school zone that's followed by a park zone right in the area. And so far, most of our speeding complaints that we receive are from Vestal Lab or Southside. The crossing guard there at that corner always complains that people are just coming down fast on Vestal Lab. That's where we spend our trailer there, the speed trailer. That's where we spend most of the time during the summer. But that's school during the school day. Park hours are different hours. Our recommendation is to leave it as it is.
Any questions or comment on this from the board? Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And actually later on the agenda, we have some additional measures for slowing traffic in that area around the park. So I think that kind of keeps it in line. Any other discussion or comments on this? Otherwise, since we're keeping it as is, I don't think we need to take action on it. We can move to the next item on the agenda. Next up is the Park Avenue and Morgan Road. This was a request from a resident to review the alternate side parking situation on Morgan Road, south to the town line.
So I did find the original submission from Mr. McCarthy. And I went out there yesterday again to figure out what he was talking about. The 4 houses right on Park Ave past the Bayless going south. They currently can't park on Park Ave. And right after those 4 houses going up, there's no parking zone all the way to the pound line. That's on a west side of the Park Ave. East side, the zoo side, is not posted at all, and I couldn't find anything in the traffic code that it was ever no parking zone or anything. So my recommendation is to post the east side from Morgan Road all the way to town line and say no parking zone. And just the portion where they can park down there, have that as exclude that from alternate side, due to the fact that that stretch of the street is prone to accidents. As I don't know if you can see on pictures, the guardrail is all smashed up because vehicles coming down the hill. I myself was on several calls where vehicle ended up in the creek there. And I think it would be it's not good to have them park during the alternate side, to have them park on the zoo side.
Thank you. Any discussion or questions, comments from the board?
Just to double down on Sergeant Mucci's comments, I think the pictures don't necessarily show the true grade of that stretch of the road, and we would support that alternate side elimination there due to the number of collisions, especially in inclement weather and snow and ice. There's a lot of year round, but many more so in this time of year. I think it'd be safer for the parkers as well.
Thank you. Anyone else on this? So Sergeant, am I understanding right, it's the recommendation of the traffic board to add no parking there, and does that by default exempt it from alternate side parking?
It would be on the upper portion where both sides are no parking,
Okay,
but that portion in front of those four houses, right now they can park on the west side.
okay, So-
During the alternate side season, they have to, by the code, they have to park on the other side.
and this would make a no parking zone on the eastern side.
That would make it no parking at all. The only thing would be for DPW, they would have to have 10 spots that they would have to like go around. Do it.
Dan, you have any concerns with that, or is that?
The only thing is like during the winter time when there's a storm, the people would not be moving to the other side. So that section of the street where they're actually parking cars, it would be a hassle for you guys because you'll have to like go over there when the cars are not there to clean it up. So. No, it's 4 houses, so it's about 150 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. So if there's no further comment, I'd look for a motion to accept the changes as outlined by Sergeant Mucci. Their motion, second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Okay, and the last item on the agenda comes from Pat McGinnis, the Commissioner of Parks for the city. This is a requested review of some additional stop signs and crosswalks at various locations on Vestal Ave. This is the portion of Vestal Ave that runs through the park. Sergeant, were we able to get out there? Do we want to revisit this for next month's meeting? What are your thoughts?
No, I went out there yesterday. So the 2 location that he requests stop signs, they're actually there right now. Stop signs are installed. They're closest one to the school, right by the parking lot. My recommendation is to install another stop sign over here by the baseball field. Right now, there's a 1-way stop sign. I think it should be 2-way there. The other 2 stop sign right next to one is the pool house and one is farther down by the playground. If we do crosswalks there, we'll be taking at least 4 parking spaces on each side because we have to do 10 feet away from the crosswalk. And if we do crosswalks anywhere else, those are only 2 viable places to put crosswalks because there's on the other side, there's actually paths that they would lead to. If we put it anywhere else, it would be just leading into hill or the fence of the field there. So my recommendation is to install 1 more stop sign, 2-way stop sign right down by the baseball field. And I also noticed that this street is not posted until you pretty much reach the school parking lot. I think we should post it either 15 mile or 25 mile as it was on the top, but I would recommend 15 mile.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So I know Pat is, he's away this week for a conference. But I think what I'd like to do before we vote on this is just have a meeting with him in between this meeting and next, go over the changes that traffic's recommending, make sure it lines up with Parks Department priorities and their thoughts. So we can keep this on the agenda for the March meeting. Does anyone have questions or comments at this time on this or any of the changes that the sergeant talked about? Okay, so we'll hold this over for March and we'll talk with the Commissioner of Parks in the meantime. Thank you for going out there and taking a look. Okay, so that's the end of the traffic board determination portion in the meeting. The items for discussion, I believe are all just holdovers from the October meeting. These all came up for discussion. And to my knowledge, were mostly resolved without needing any traffic board action. So unless there's any comment from board members, we can move on from those. But if there's other items for discussion, we can hear them now as well. Yes.
Is there a certain section of it? Is it down by like the beach? Okay. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Right. Right. The one thing that we've done other places, like we did over on North Street, we did that road safety assessment where we actually go out there and we walk it with representatives from the city and BMTS staff and see what the problems are. It's like an audit of the street there to identify problems so we can make recommendations for what you could do. I mean, if you're interested in that, if you just send an email to Jennifer Yankowski, the director, I think she can schedule one for the upcoming months. Sometimes we notice things though when you're actually out there walking that we're like, oh, because that happened on North Street a lot area.
I think that ended up being helpful too.
Yeah.
So the residents found it was helpful.
And then you'll get a written report of anything that's out there, or signs are out there, but sometimes they're not appropriately placed. Sometimes the crosswalks need to be upgraded. Sometimes the signal doesn't have headbump. Like there's various things that sometimes you notice. If the city's interested in that, you like I said, send her an email request that be done. It might be helpful. Yes, Jennifer, okay, okay,
I think I have her email too. I can send an
Yeah, you
introductory
must.
email, yeah. After the meeting, if that works. Okay. Oh. Oh, I think mine's on. Mine's on. Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna get better at this. Planning's helping us now, so these meetings will be running even better. Um, did we have any other items for discussion? Danny, did you want to bring up the fire station parking? Danny, give me just a sec. Let me.
So as of right now, we have temporary no parking signs up on Pine Street from Chapman to the back entrance of the new firehouse. The rigs and the equipment that they have to get in there cannot get through that back entrance if they had to with the cars on both sides. So we're recommending that we make them permanent, no parking from that last driveway, the back driveway to Chapman. It takes up probably 6 spots altogether, 3 on each side at the most. And they're parking right on the close to the corner too, where they probably shouldn't be parking, which makes it tough for any vehicle, plow vehicle, especially to get through there. But that entrance is going to have to be utilized by the fire department throughout the year.
Okay. Any comments or questions from? Do you have anything?
We went and agreed that one the first to go in. We had concerns that they were going to have to lose parking, but the only thing that we noticed when we were out there is a lot of those buildings don't have any off-street parking, and parking's at a premium on Pine. I don't know what can be done. There is that empty lot across, but I guess that's part of another project. Yeah. So we agree that you have to lose the parking, but I don't know what then is done for the residents over there as far as the on-street parking, because they don't have any off-street.
Okay. How many spaces is it all together?
It's about 6,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
It's like the
on that-
first
it's
2,
on
3
that
houses.
Like about 6 or maybe 8 on the other side.
Yeah.
And the other side's already taken out, but.
Okay.
Like the house on the corner there by the fire station and 3 houses, well, 2, 3 houses on the other side would literally not have any parking because they can't park on Chapman. The house on the corner right by the fire, like there's no parking for them anywhere. They'll have to go all the way up on Pine Street to park if they have a car. And the 2 houses on the other side would not have any parking. But
Why couldn't there be parking on Chapman?
I don't
The
know.
state could-
It's a wide street.
the state controls that. I think that they weren't letting any parking allowed there. I thought. I could be wrong.
I don't think they have any need for that now.
Yeah. I mean, it
mean,
can
they
be
still
looked
have
into,
that
I
right of-
guess.
They still have the right of way down through there, but
we can
we do
definitely-
have the lot next to the gas station, although that's a ways for them to walk.
Right.
But he's the one that, the gentleman that was here that apparently called
Right.
us, and it's like, I really can't, this is gonna be taken with the traffic board, so.
When we looked at the plan originally, when they were going to adjust the traffic flow for Court Street, how the apparatus is going to come out. Am I correct in that they can access their lot off of Court Street to return to quarters if they're heading west? I was under the impression that when rigs were going to return to quarters, they were going to have to come up Court Street, however they would get there from wherever they were
go
coming,
underneath
come
the
all the way to Court Street
363, turn around.
and enter to turn north into their new lot and facility.
Apparently
I believe that was discussed, but I don't know if it's just more of a convenience or if it's a public safety issue, obviously, to get the fire apparatus back
Apparently-
into quarters.
State is not giving them the cut through there, So they'll have to go down, go underneath the 363 overpass, turn around, and come back.
Could they turn on Liberty and make that turn?
Yeah,
So they wouldn't have to go all the way down
well, it's still.
Liberty to Court and then back to Quarters. That was my impression that that's how they were gonna establish their traffic flow there.
And who would we talk to about the parking on Chapman? Is that state DOT that currently?
I could send you over a contact.
Okay. Okay. Anything else on this for today's meeting?
I had a couple other things if we're
Sure.
done with that. I was at a Broome County Traffic Safety Board meeting yesterday morning, and a couple people brought up concerns at the intersection of Henry and Water, that people are missing the stop sign there, going northbound, by Bosco, where the parking garage came down.
Okay.
And suggested perhaps putting oversized stop signs there to draw attention to it. And I know that when a lot of vehicles are parked there, sometimes people don't see that it's a stop sign. They also, so DOT suggested maybe putting it back on all red flash. And I don't know if there was a problem with that signal not being able to do it or not, but they also volunteered their help if the city needed it to put it on all white flash.
We could put it on flash.
Okay,
Absolutely. Somebody suggested that we turned it off because it was confusing people, I believe.
yeah, but I think, but they said, several people at the meeting brought up that they've seen people just flow through there
Yeah.
on a regular basis. So maybe, I mean, the all red reinforces that it's a stop,
Yeah.
and especially to put an oversized stop sign there.
Okay.
Just a suggestion, but I mean, that came up yesterday at the meeting.
Okay, I think it's worth a shot trying it as
Yeah, sure.
on flash. Okay.
I have one more thing that I complained about numerous times, but the OCCT bus is still stopping and parking for like an extended time, at extended, I don't know how long, but at right in front of the arena at Susquehanna and Washington. And when it does that, nobody can get around them. They're right in front of a fire hydrant. And the one OCCT bus, when it stops, it just like hangs out there. And we had talked about before, maybe giving them an actual bus stop on Washington Street. So they're not doing that because they hang out into the intersection. If you're a pedestrian, you can't see. And even as a vehicle going through there, it really, you know what I'm talking about,
Yep.
Tito? Yeah. And it's a problem every day. It's been going on for years. We had even talked about at one time, maybe taking away a couple spots, south of Susquehanna and making that a bus stop for OCCT so they could stop there just on the other side of the intersection and hang out. So I don't know, but it's a continual problem. I think that BU's been contacted, but
Is this the arena side that's by UDC? Is that why they're stopping there?
they're stopping on the east side. So it's like right in front of the arena, right on Susquehanna, right on the corner of Washington and Susquehanna.
Okay,
And their back end of the vehicle hangs out into Susquehanna.
okay,
Because they're a parking space on Washington.
Yeah.
Doesn't allow them to go all the way.
Right.
I see. Okay,
And it is a safety hazard.
It is because they're going around the park.
No. So I don't know, maybe we could put it on the March meeting,
to look at it for adding a bus stop there, maybe, or
yeah,
other.
or something.
Okay, yeah, Tito, if you could add that, that'd be great.
Thank you.
And if you wouldn't mind, Tito, just adding the Henry and Water, if just so we can take a look at how that is doing with the once Danny changes it to flashing. Thank you. Okay, any other discussion items, comments, anything else for this meeting? Okay, then I would take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned.